Welcome back, everybody. We're back in the Ampeg V4 today. Filter caps are all in. As we did on the last video, I didn't show replacing the 40-40-40 one over there, but that has been replaced. I do need to, I think I'm going to order a new 3K 10 watt resistor for that side. One of the legs is just super short for the connection. And I think we're going to need to order some parts anyway. So I'm not sure how far we're going to go with this. Basically, this video is going to be removing these components and examining how bad this PCB is. There's a very real chance that we're not going to be able to use this section of the PCB if things are conductive, if I can't clean off all this scarring that's in place. What can happen is that this luckily is one giant rail. This is all supposed to be connected, so that could make this okay. But anytime you have burn marks like that where things get that black stuff going on there, it's typically going to be conductive unless you really scrape that away and get down to the point where a lot of people will scrape away even the fiberglass or whatever material the PCB is made out of. So if that's the case, I think the best solution is going to be to basically drill out a couple of the rivets for the power tubes as well, and they actually make these terminal strips that are similar to these guys, where it's a single mounting point with multiple nodes. They make ones that can just go off of those and are designed to do so. That might be our best bet, especially since we're relocating these screen resistors, which just are going to connect. So like this wire, this node is just connected to a wire that goes right here. And then to here for the next resistor, and same all the way across. The other side here is all connected to each other. I'll grab the schematic to show you. That side then goes to one side of this 10 watt resistor, which I luckily from years ago have a bunch of really nice ones of those, which is cool. 470 ohm 10 watt. This is in the filter section, which then connects to the node of the cap we just replaced on this wire that is all burned out. Then we have our bias section here. This actually looks like it's probably okay. It's just that it's seen a lot of heat from being right next to this resistor. I would ideally like to put this resistor somewhere else where it's also going to dissipate all of its heat. And let's grab the schematic and I'll point out where all of this is on there. Okay, so those resistors, those black resistors there in the burned out point are all these 470 ohm 2 watt resistors. They've been replaced at some point with 1K resistors. That's just going to add a little extra protection for the tube. It's not going to really change the characteristic of the sound very much at all. So that's not a bad thing, but you can see we have 530 volts at stock value on one side. Now all 4 of those connect at these nodes from each tube to then connect to a common point, and that's our burned out rail. So that point that they're all connecting to is, are we zoomed in too far? I'll show you in just a sec. So that all goes back to here, which we can see is one side of a 470 ohm 7 watt stock. We have a 10 watt one in there, which is great, resistor. And it also connects to our 40 microfarad at 450 volt capacitor, which is the one we replaced at one point there, which then stacks in series with another 40. And let's see what else is going on here. The other side of that 470 ohm resistor then is going to the one I just pointed out. This is the other can cap, the 40 and the 70. That goes to the other side. So we'll take a look again here. Let's get you zoomed back out. So again, this is the rail where all those points are connected. It goes to one side of this capacitor. The other side of that capacitor is going down to this node here. And then this side is going all the way over to our other can cap that's out of view over there. The one that we didn't show the replacement of because it's basically the same as these two, just on the other side. And again, we have a video that covers all those thoroughly on my last Ampeg V4 video. So the question is, is this circuit board toast to the point that we need to relocate things, or can we salvage this? So I'm going to pull these components out of the way and try to clean this up as best I can, and we're going to take a look, see what happens. Okay, so this side seems straightforward enough to get these out of the way. We'll see how bad these actually are. Oh yeah, so I can see right away that trace has basically been lifted, or the pad rather, at some point. So we'll get this up and out of the way, which may be why the person that did this before, why this looks kind of junky. Those pads are all lifted up for the resistors. Okay, which right away is another vote for relocating these resistors, but let's see what it looks like when we're all in there. Now the other side of these connections, these points go to these 4 orange wires, which again are just going to nodes on the tubes. Now if it's simply that the pads are problematic, we can deal with that without having to relocate everything. But I can see this whole other side is just totally moving just from wiggling these capacitors. I don't know what's going on here. We're going to get this all cleaned up. Okay, so first one out. Yeah, that guy, okay, so we can see, oh man. Yeah, so I think what happened here was somebody was trying to fix this at some point and just basically took up all the pads for this part of the board. Which, if that's the case, if it's not burned to the point that, well, okay, so if it's not burned to the point that things are conductive at the actual pads, we can deal with that. We can mount positions. We might be able to even drill some of these out and put terminals like we would for a turret board in those spots. But, okay, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but that's kind of what's going on there. So they've run this wire over to this point, which is then going up to all this. Okay, here I'm gonna go ahead and set this guy loose as well. If I can get it out of there. But that certainly could have been what led to some of the issues on this amp. I know we talked in the initial video, and people had a lot of really great comments that have also worked on these amps about how 6550s for the tubes in this specific model of V4 can just be, they basically are drawing too much heater current for what the power transformer is rated for. It can really put a lot of strain on things. And so because of that, we really don't recommend them. 6L6s or 70, if you want to spring for the 7027s, okay, are just fine in these amps. But it could be what happened was the combination of it putting extra strain on things, but also an intermittent connection here on this board for the screen resistors was causing some of the failure. I know the customer basically said this thing was getting like hot. So Okay, I'm going to break this loose off camera, so I'm not doing it over the amp. Okay, here we go. This is what was holding together the node on the other side of the screen resistors. So probably about 500 volts, 450 volts at this node on here, and this burned up wire. That'll do it. Okay, so all those pads are basically toast. We're going to get some isopropyl on there and kind of scrub away at this a little bit, see what we can do to clean it up. But there's no connections being made there at this point. This is going to require relocation. Luckily, I think our bias section of the board here is going to be okay. I am going to double check this bias mod circuit thing is fine and that wasn't contributing to any of the issues. But we basically lost all of our pads for this entire section. And, you know, yeah, I'll have to think about this, but we are going to clean this up either way. All of this black area has the potential to become conductive in the circuit board, so we don't want to rely on that for higher voltage points on the amp, if we want it to be reliable at least. Just a closer look at what's going on here. So basically, all of these pads are toast. These are gone, 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 gone. These ones are holding on only because the wires on the other side going to the tube sockets are still connected. They otherwise are all basically loose or would lift up with not much pressure. These pads are gone, R55, R53. This section is honestly looking fine. It really looks like this is just from overheating screen resistors. And then potentially like a really botched solder job. Although I would hate to assign that to a prior tech without seeing what else was going on. I mean, this stuff isn't how I would do it, but it's fine. So it's not like the soldering is totally crazy. So I would think that they would have been okay. And these are fine. I mean, they must have changed these at some point. It is funny that they replaced the bias caps in circuit, but didn't do any of the filter caps or anything. So I think we are going to need to... Okay, so here's the plan. So for those of you that have worked on these before, let me know if this is a crazy way of doing this, or if you would go about it in a different way. I'm open to ideas here. But going to get basically this style of terminal strip. They make ones that are specifically on amplified parts or C distribution. I'll post a picture overlapping here. But basically going to get a couple of this kind of thing that will go between each of the pair of tubes, right? So I'd have one here or here, and then same here. I'll have to drill out those rivets to mount it, but that's fine. And then we'll have the screen resistors going from each tube socket to that rail, and then can connect to the other side of all this stuff and can run the capacitors, and the other resistors that would go here will all just be on those rails in this area. I otherwise don't know where to mount a board in here without drilling out part of the circuit board, which I would like to avoid. I just don't like drilling into the fiberglass or whatever stuff like this. But I mean, if that's also the best route, I could also just drill out these holes and basically put turrets in here, which would be fine if this wasn't all so burned out and potentially conductive already. I feel like just relocating out of this area is going to be the best bet, since I will then avoid any potential future problems from overheating or conductivity occurring in this same spot. Could also, the only other thing I was thinking of is this is the old hum balance pot, and as I believe it's Goodwin. I can't, sorry, not sure what you're YouTube handle is, but you comment on a lot of the videos and had a lot of great points, and you were pointing out, you know, get rid of the hum balance. We don't really need it. I like having it in there if in complement to a normal bias circuit when it makes sense, but you're right, it is a point of failure, and it only helps so much. So this is another point where I could pull this pot out and have some kind of board mounted here and then get stuff out of the way. But I thought having it closer to the tube sockets with some of these kind of terminal strips would be the best way to go. So let me know, open ideas. This thing's a little bit of a monster, but we're going to get it running. We're going to make sure it's a tank and has, you know, years of life left in it after this repair. Okay, this is a quick one because I got to order some parts. Thanks for watching. As always, hope you're having a good weekend. And let me know what you think. V4 heads out there. I don't know what we call ourselves. Those of us that enjoy Ampeg V4s. Let me know your opinions. How would you approach this?